Hello. A couple months ago, a friend of mine from my local game store asked me to create for them a proxy for their EDH deck of Ragavan, Nimble, Pilferer, and I had been making a couple of these proxies for a while now. I had figured that right now, this time, I would record my process in making these things, to put together in this video here. So the first thing I do is I write out all the rules text for the card, the name, the mana cost up there in the top right, along with all the rules text. So legendary creature, monkey pirate here, and then all the stuff for this monkey. Um, I will draw a line. So I'm going to talk about a little bit of the drawing as well as um, kind of flash a bunch of the other proxies I've made over the past while now, and then hopefully you'll be able to enjoy that process. So the first thing I'm going to do is I usually think of a process, or not a process, a this an idea for the card. So for this one in particular, I went with looking up some sort of like famous monkeys in fiction, and the one I went with was Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls. So we're gonna sketch that in right now. I use pencil to sketch it in. Oh, by the way, I'm using the double face card reminder cards to draw these in on. Oh, and make sure you when you're making one of these, you put the power toughness or the starting loyalty of the card in the bottom right corner, just so you can remember it. But yeah, so I used what was it, a mechanical pencil to jot it in, and then um, sort of sketch out the ideas for me to put in ink later, because it's not easy. Because you want to make sure that you measure twice, not cut once. Um, but yeah, no. One thing that's particular about these types of proxies is that when you erase with a normal eraser, I found that you just kind of mess it up and you get a lot of smudges. So I use a contact eraser, this rubber thingy, in order to just sort of pick up the pencil. I don't know why it works, but it works better than using a regular eraser. So you kind of want to roll it over to make a very um, you know light line. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, if you look here, yeah, so we've created this pencil sketch, and now we're bringing in the pen. Um, I use a lot of thin pens. I like using thin pens to draw my lines in. So this is a point two, I believe. Yeah, point two or point three pen to put this in. And yeah, I do this a lot for fun, and I guess I'll start with the story. So a long time ago in June, or not June, like in January of this year, a couple of my friends were talking about how much they were enjoying CEDH, and I figured I might want to pop in there and join with them. Obviously, I didn't have all the cards required for CEDH, so I asked if I was allowed to use proxies. Of course, they said yes, because it's a completely casual format. Um, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna make these proxies, but I didn't really want to just print them out. And I had all these blank cards, so I figured I would make the proxies that way, and sort of just enjoy my time at work, sort of pass the time like that. So yeah, so that's kind of how the idea began, and now it's just been a thing I've been doing just for fun to pass the time. I finished up the proxy. I finished up all the proxies for that CEH deck, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to expand off that, and I am now currently. It's not going to be done anytime soon, but it's just sort of to continue, this process of just like getting some ink on cardboard, as it were. I'm going to be making the old vintage cube, just like take a snapshot of the vintage cube and put that into ink onto Proxy's cards. And it might not be the best idea, but it's something I. Oh, and there's some paper over there. So yeah, now I'm just kind of filling in the blacks. And there's something really interesting about this style is that it's monochrome. There's very few instances where I added color. I added color a couple times, a little bit of reds here and there, and on the Undertale Sands one, I added a blue for it was just perfect. I was in an art class and subbing for them, and they had blue paint, so I sort of just slightly blotted that in. So oh yeah, and by the way, there's the my signature is the anglerfish. Hopefully the camera catches it back into up there it is, brings it back into focus a little bit. Yep, and so yep, there's a little bit more of erasing. When you're doing this process, you definitely don't want to smudge, and if you see on a lot of them, there's some smudging in action. So you definitely want to try to avoid that. So if you can, leave a lot of breaks in between sections to make sure that the smudging or the ink dries before you put it into a sleeve, especially. And over here, I figured there's a lot of empty space there, so I decided I would insert the Powerpuff Girls themselves. So this is Bubbles, then Blossom, then Buttercup. I believe that's the order. Yeah, Blossom, then Buttercup. And they're just gonna be over here in the background, just adding some space. And I think I added some cityscape in the background afterwards. This is at 400% speed. 4x, and the whole thing took about 30-ish minutes, 32-ish minutes, 30 something like that. Forget how long the original file was, but that's sort of and you see the Buttercup over here is all angry. I generally enjoyed watching the Powerpuff Girls as a kid. And then I think when I was in the Philippines many years ago, we watched the anime version where they're all anime-esque, very different than the current version. I was thinking about putting him in this picture, but I couldn't find enough space for them in this picture. So they're off on the sideline for now. But yeah, Emoji Jojo here is stealing. Right, anyway, so I guess that's it. So thank you so much for watching. Don't subscribe.